What's up, ninjas, and welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat, and welcome to December's hour-long video. At least I think it's gonna be an hour long, no promises. And yeah, we're back filming at home for now. Bunny is happy that we're back here because then she gets all the attention. Today's yoga flow, we're gonna do some really fun transitions that I'm excited to teach. So I'm really interested to see how they're gonna go. So let's just get into it. We'll begin in a comfortable seat, cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you. Grounding your weight evenly down through the sit bones. Oh. Pulling the spine tall. And if you like, you can close your eyes. We're just gonna bring our mind to our breath. You don't need to change anything right now. Just observe, following the air in through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking a second here to set an intention for today's class. The intention that I'm setting for class is that you are good enough. I know it's really easy to get imposter syndrome when you're doing things. Like for me, I just finished doing my 12 days of yoga challenge and I had imposter syndrome the whole time. But I'm very glad that I did it. But the point is you are good enough and no one is going to be harder on yourself than you are. And I know for me, that's very true. So today, when you're flowing through your practice and you're holding a pose and you find yourself criticizing yourself for maybe not being the best at a certain pose or a certain transition, just you are good enough. We're just working on small improvements over time, and it doesn't matter. Nothing's perfect. You don't have to be perfect in anything. So that's my intention today. If you'd like to set something else, that's fine. And while your eyes are closed, I'm going to take you through a breathing exercise so that we can properly arrive to today's practice. And right now, we're going to focus on extending our inhales and exhales. So as you inhale through the nose, make a nice long breath and a nice long exhale. Again, inhale through the nose and exhale. Now we'll take our hands to our chest so we can feel the process happening. Feel as you inhale, feel your chest lift. Again, inhale. Now bring your hands to your rib cage so you can really feel this process happen. Nice deep breath in. Feel the rib cage expand. And exhale. Maybe you find that you want to breathe deeper. Good. Now bring your hands to your belly. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Feel the belly lift. Feel it drop. Good. Now you can bring your hands down to the knees. Let your breath return to normal. And you can blink open your eyes and we will get into the rest of today's practice. We're going to start with our neck. So you can tuck your chin to your chest. Nice stretch on the back of the neck. And lift your chin to the sky, keeping the mouth closed if you want more sensation on the front of the throat. Release, coming back to center. Tip your head over to the left. And take it over to the right. Good. Come back to center, drawing your head all the way back over to the left. And then you're going to take your chin, keeping this tilt in your head, but you're going to take your chin almost, sorry, my cat just knocked over my book. Taking your chin almost to the other shoulder. So it's kind of a different angle here. You're going to feel this stretch more on the side of the back there. And release, coming back to center. Tip your head over to the right, then draw your chin over to the left shoulder. And release, come back to center. We'll turn our head from side to side. Just nice slow movements. And as we come back to center, we'll dip our chin and draw little half circles going shoulder to shoulder. Before finally coming all the way around in one direction. And then the other. Beautiful. Come back to center and we'll roll onto our hands and knees in a tabletop position. Stacking the knees under the hips, the hands under the shoulders, and we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone and chin. Exhale, arch the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, press the mat away. Inhale, expanding into that cow pose. And exhale, arching the spine for cat. And just keep going, linking your movement to your breath, taking whatever extra movement you need. We'll do one more here. Good. Come back to a neutral spine, and we're going to stretch our wrists out. So you can turn them to the side, and if this is enough for you, stay right here, or turn your fingers so that they're facing the knees. It can be pretty intense, so be gentle with yourself. Again, if this is enough for you, stay right here. Or you can join me in doing some cat-cows in this position. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, arch the spine. Inhale. Exhale. We'll go one more round. Before coming back to that neutral spine and releasing the hands nice and slow. We're going to bring our hands wider than the mat, fingers facing outwards. And we're going to get a little shoulder and upper back stretch here. So taking our left shoulder and just gently dipping it all the way to the mat, and then pressing up into that right hand, and then rolling over to dip the right shoulder to the mat. Going back and forth, moving as slow as you need. And we'll do one more round each side. And come back to that neutral spine. Now I'm just going to turn to face the camera here because I don't have the space available to me, but we're going to do some cat-cows with our leg extended so we can get some hip mobility action going. So coming back into that tabletop position, straightening the right leg for now, just extending it. You can point the toes straight towards the back of the mat there. And then again, we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, arch the spine, press the mat away. We'll do one more on this side. And bring that right leg back under the hip, and we'll extend the left leg. Inhale for cow, and exhale, cat. And we'll do one more before coming back to that neutral spine. Very nice work, you guys. I'm just turning back towards the short part of the mat. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Taking whatever movement you need here. Bending one leg at a time, turning your hips over. Pressing the mat away. Or maybe, if you need it, a moment of stillness. And if you need to bend the knees to take the pressure off the hamstrings, go ahead and do that. And crawl the hands towards the feet to meet in forward fold. Again, taking whatever movement you need. Maybe pedaling out the legs. Maybe nodding your head yes. Or shaking it no. Just nice, slow, deliberate movements. Or maybe you want to tuck your arms into the elbows and just let your top half ragdoll. Just allow yourself to be heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Rolling shoulders up and down, away from the ears at the top, meeting in our mountain pose. Inhale the hands to the sky, holding onto the left wrist with the right hand, taking a nice deep breath in here. And exhale, bending to the right, almost as if you're pulling that left arm for more sensation. Come back to center, taking a nice deep breath in and switching your grip, taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand, and then exhaling, bending over to the left. Releasing, coming back to center, bringing your hands down beside your hips, and then bringing your feet a little wider than your hip. And we're going to rotate our spine, drawing nice big circles with the arms. And then really slowly drawing smaller and smaller circles until we find ourselves facing forward again and still. I'm just going to turn back towards the short part of my mat. And then we'll inhale the hands to the sky and exhale, swan dive down, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Maybe taking the hands underneath the foot and just getting a nice little rich wrist stretch, trying to press the top of the hand into the mat. If this is too intense for you, feel free to bend the knees. And release your hands and crawl the hands out into downward facing dog. All right, now we're gonna get to those fun transitions now that we're all warmed up. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, opening up that hip. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the nose, holding here, arching, pressing the mat away. And then you're gonna pivot on that right foot so that your foot is parallel to the mat, extending the left leg out in front of you and then reaching the right arm overhead for a fallen triangle. Really lift those hips up nice and high. And then gently lower the bum down to the mat, Bring your bum cheeks even. And then we're gonna meet in this straddle pose, pulling the spine tall, pressing the heels into the floor, and then taking the hands and crawling ourselves forward, making sure we're hinging at the hips. Beautiful, one more breath here. For releasing, bringing the legs together, maybe adjusting so you're center on your mat. We'll take the left knee and bend it and bring it over top of the left, hugging the left knee into that right elbow, pulling the spine nice and tall. Deep breath in, exhale, gazing over the left shoulder. Release the twist, bringing the left elbow inside the left knee, maybe holding onto that left foot. Again, pull that spine tall, deep breath in. Exhale, gaze over your right shoulder. Okay, from here, we're gonna move into our downward facing dog right from this pose. So putting our weight into that right hand and then putting more weight into the left foot, maybe turning onto that right hip a little bit more. And then we're just going to pick our hips up, twisting onto the feet, and then adjusting, coming into downward facing dog. And we're gonna take that little flow to the other side. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open up that hip. Pausing here for breath. Take a deep breath in, and on your next exhale, arch the spine, bringing the knee to the nose, really pressing the mat away. Then pivoting on that left foot to bring the foot parallel to the mat, extending the right leg out in front of you. And then extending the left arm to the sky for our fallen triangle. Lift those hips up nice and high. And then really slowly release that bum down to the mat. Bring your weight even between your butt cheeks. I'm just gonna adjust here so you can see, but really it doesn't matter where you end up. Pressing the heels into the mat, pull the spine nice and tall, deep breath in. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Pulling yourself forward, respecting your boundaries. And gently releasing that pose, bringing the legs together, bending the right leg, picking it up, bring it over top of that straight left leg, hugging the right knee into the left elbow, pull the spine tall, deep breath in, exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Release the twist, bringing the right elbow inside the right knee, maybe holding onto your foot, pull the spine tall, deep breath in, exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Beautiful. From here, we're going to transition into that down dog. So putting your weight into that left hand and the right foot, maybe turning, adjusting a little to come more onto that left hip, and then planting the right hand and picking the hips up to the sky and adjusting into our down dog. Very nice, you guys. All right, we got another fun little flow to get through here. Can take whatever movement you need in this down dog. Also remember, you're welcome to come into a child's pose at any point throughout this flow. This is your practice and not your boss, as much as I want to be, but you can do whatever you need to do. And when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in, nice long breath out. I'm just gonna make a little adjustment here because I'm a little bit more limited for space. So I'm gonna come more to the top of my mat here. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend that knee, opening out that hip. And then release that bend, straightening that leg again, bringing the hips square to the mat, and crawl the hands towards that standing leg, coming into our standing splits. You have the option to keep your hands on the mat underneath your shoulders, trying to touch your nose to the knee and focusing on really lifting that left leg, or feel free to take your hands around that right ankle for a little extra challenge. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crawl the hands back out into your three-legged dog. And on your next exhale, bring that left foot in between the hands. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, meeting in a low lunge. Wasn't that fun? Beautiful. Bring the right hand inside that left foot. Extend the left arm for a nice twist here. And release the twist, coming back into that low lunge. Now from here, tipping forward, planting the hands to the mat, tucking the left toes. And we're gonna go into standing splits on our left side here. So really pressing off with that right foot, lifting that leg, the right leg to the sky as high as you can, keeping the hands on the mat if you need the support, or wrapping the hands around that left heel. Just try to relax the neck. I think that's what I personally struggle with the most, is I'm always like craning the neck. I always need that verbal reminder. Lift that leg a little higher, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the toes to match in forward fold, giving yourself a generous bend in the knees, maybe even resting your torso on the upper thighs, maybe wrapping your arms around the legs for a nice little hug. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then rolling up nice and slow, extending the arms into the air and sinking into a chair pose. Weight in the heels, tucking that tailbone underneath, maybe giving yourself a little extra space in between the feet if your balance is a little off. But we're gonna bump this challenge up a little bit more by coming up onto our tiptoes and sinking our bums even lower. The quads are burning. And we're gonna sink a little lower, and then eventually meeting on our bums right into a boat pose. So you have options here if you wanna just keep your hands on the back of your thigh and your heels on the mat and just lean back until you feel that core engage. Lift the legs parallel and release the thighs, opening the palms into the sky, or even straightening the legs. Don't know if I have that in me today. No, you know what? I do. Straightening the legs. Don't hold your breath. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. We're gonna roll back onto our spine and come back up, rolling again. And then at the bottom of our third roll, cross the legs, rolling over the ankles. I can't do that, I have a knee injury. And then coming into a plank. You can also just ignore me and do whatever you want. Shifting forward, dropping to come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. The music stopped and I have to pause for a second and figure out what's going on. So you hang out In your down dog or child's pose, I'm gonna go deal with that. And we're back. I don't know why I did that. Okay, anyways, back in that downward facing dog. And we'll take that flow to the other side. So all together, nice deep breath in through the nose. Nice long breath out. Okay. Now, again, I'm gonna have to adjust to come a little closer to the front of my mat because I'm limited in space. But when you are ready, we will get into that other side. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice long breath out. And when you're ready, inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open up that hip. Pausing here for breath. And releasing that bend to bring the hips back square to the mat. And we'll crawl the hands towards that left foot to meet in our standing splits. Again, you have options here. Either keep the hands on the mat or wrap them around your ankle. And then lift that right leg as high as you can, trying to touch the nose to the knee. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that right leg lifted. Crawl the hands back out into your 3-legged dog. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Bring the right foot in between your hands. Drop the left knee. Untuck the toes, meeting in a low lunge on that right side. Whew. Very nice work, you guys. Planting the left hand inside that right foot, extending the right arm for a twist. Beautiful. Release that twist. Coming back into the low lunge. Really sinking into those hips. And then bringing the hand to the mat, tucking the left toes, lifting that right knee, really pressing hard off of that left foot to extend the left leg to the sky, meeting in our standing splits on the right side. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the toes together, meeting in a forward fold, bending the knees generously, letting your torso rest on the thighs, giving yourself a nice hug. Relax that neck. Beautiful work. Plant the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then we'll roll ourselves up nice and slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. And when you're ready, we'll go into that chair pose. So take as much space as you need in between your feet. Bend the knees, extending the arms to the sky. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do a airplane variation. So bringing the hands behind you, palms facing the ceiling, bending the legs, tuck that tailbone underneath, keep that chest nice and lifted. And then we'll lift up onto the tiptoes for an added challenge and try to sink a little deeper. If you fall out, it's fine. Beautiful. Bring the arms back in front of you, sink a little lower and lower and lower until we can bring our bums all the way to the mat as gently or as ungracefully as possible. Meeting right in our boat pose, whichever variation. I encourage you to challenge yourself. Holding for 5, 4, I'm shaking, 3, 2, 1, release, bend the legs. And again, we'll roll onto our spine. Rolling once, rolling twice or ignoring me and just going right into a tabletop position. But crossing your ankles at the bottom, rolling over the ankles, meeting in a plank. Pausing here for breath. Shifting forward, lowering yourselves almost to the floor, but not quite. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. And we're gonna exhale into a child's pose. Bring the knees wide, melt the hips down to the heels, extending the arms out in front of you. Taking whatever movement you need, maybe rocking side to side. Maybe lifting up onto the fingertips. Now, while we are here, I want you to bring your mind back to the intention you set at the beginning of class. You are good enough. So it doesn't matter how that flow just went for you. I know there were some advanced moves there, and maybe you felt like you were a bit clumsy in the transitions. That's okay. The point is that you tried it, and that next time you do this video, maybe you'll be a little bit better next time. Or maybe you fucking crushed it. If you did crush it, I would love it if you filmed yourself doing it and tagged me in it on Instagram. That would be cool. Beautiful. One more breath here. Really focus on inhaling nice and deep, filling the belly, and exhaling nice and slow through the mouth. And when you're ready, we'll roll forward, pull out the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips to the sky, meeting back in our downward facing dog. Again, taking whatever movement you need here. I'm going to add in a little flamingo variation here. So really putting your weight into that left heel, bending the right leg, pointing the right toes, keeping the knees aligned. And you're going to find that this pose kind of forces that left heel to the mat. But again, if this doesn't feel good for you, just go back to your regular down dog. Good. And then extend that right leg to the sky. Exhale, step that right foot outside of the right hand. Keep that left knee off the mat for a lizard variation here. So we're going to add some hip mobility in here. So just draw some nice slow circles with your hip. They can be as big or as small as you need, going in one direction and then the other. Good. Come back to stillness. Okay, plant that left hand, extend the right arm to the sky for a nice lizard twist. And release the twist, bringing the right hand inside the right foot. Pivot that left foot so it's parallel with the back of your mat, and extend the left arm to the sky for a revolved twist. Beautiful. Release that twist, bring the hands to the mat, bring those left toes forward. And then you can go ahead and drop that left knee, untuck the toes, and then tiptoe that foot in the center of your hands and straighten that leg. Pull your spine nice and long. Deep breath in and exhale, hinging forward to try to touch the nose to the knee. And bend that right knee, lift up that left foot and turn the toes to face the wide part of your mat behind you. Turn your body to face the wide part of your mat. So I'm backwards here because I'm pulling this part of the flow out of my ass as we speak. So we'll figure this out. Straighten that right leg, extend the arms to the sky, nice deep breath in, and then exhale, bending sideways over that right leg, nice side body stretch. Releasing, bringing the left hand to the mat, extending the right arm overhead. And releasing that stretch, bringing both hands to the mat, picking up the left toes again, tucking the right toes, and lifting that left leg to the sky, three-legged dog, and then bring the toes to match. Back in downward facing dog. Nice work, guys. We'll do that on the other side. So we'll go back into that flamingo variation this time, putting our weight into the right foot, bending the left knee, keeping those knees aligned, pausing here to soak up that goodness, that nice stretch in that leg. And then extend the left leg to the sky. Deep breath in. And on your next exhale, step the left foot outside the left hand. Keep that right knee lifted. And we'll do those hip circles on this side. So drawing nice, deliberate, slow circles going in one direction and the other. Oh, this side's a little harder for me to do because of my knee. Beautiful. Keep that right knee lifted. Come back to center. Extend the left arm for a nice twist. Beautiful. Release that twist. Left hand inside that left foot. Pivot the right foot so it's parallel with the front of your mat and extend the right arm to the sky for a revolved twist. This is really similar to an extended side angle as well. Beautiful. And release that twist. Bring the hands to the mat. Drop that right knee, untuck the toes, and then tiptoe that foot in the center of your hands and straighten that leg. Pull your spine nice and long. Deep breath in and exhale, hinging forward to try to touch the nose of the knee. And bend the knee. And then we're going to pick up the right toes and turn so that the toes are facing the wide part of our mat. And we're going to turn our torso so that we're facing the wide part of our mat. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Lift up your torso. Inhale the hands to the sky. And exhale, bending sideways over that left leg. I realize I'm just going to show you my back this whole time. And release, bringing the right hand to the mat, extending the left arm overhead. Nice stretch. And release that pose, taking the right toes to point behind you, facing the short part of your mat, and meeting back in our downward facing dog. Oh, extending that right leg to the sky for a split dog, and then bringing the toes back down for our downward facing dog. Very nice, you guys. We're gonna roll forward into first a plank, but bend the knees and just let them hover above the mat. We're gonna get a little extra core work in here before we finish out with our cool down. Just hovering those knees a couple inches above the mat. Don't hold your breath. Make sure you're still breathing. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees nice and wide, melt into a child's pose. Beautiful work. And we're going to come back up into a tabletop position here. Inhale the right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread that arm underneath the left, bringing the right shoulder and right cheek to the mat. And then you can keep your left hand where it is or extend it nice and long in front of you. Bring the left hand back under the shoulder. Extend that right arm to the sky one more time. And then bring that hand back under the shoulder. Inhale the left arm to the sky. Thread that left arm underneath right arm, left shoulder and cheek to the mat. Keeping the right fingertips where they are or extending that arm out nice and long. Bring the right fingertips back under the shoulder and inhale the left arm to the sky one more time and then come back to the mat. We're going to come back into child's pose, but this time we're going to take our hands and crawl them all the way over to the right, maybe lifting up onto the left fingertips for more sensation in that left shoulder. And release, crawling all the way over to the left, coming up onto the left fingertips. And release. Coming back to center. And then crawling up to come into our hero pose. I'm just going to sit on my knees and heels. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, right fingertips to the mat, bending the left arm overhead, turning your face up to the sky. Inhaling both hands back to the sky and exhale, bending over to the left. And release. We're going to go into a very gentle camel pose. So I'm just adjusting here to give myself some more space. But we're going to take the right hand to the mat behind us. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pelvis and lift the hips to the sky, extending the left arm, reaching behind you towards that right shoulder. Feel free to close your eyes, really focus on lifting. And gently release. We'll take that to the other side. Bringing the left hand to the mat behind you. Lift the hips. Lift that right arm to the sky. Really reach. And relax. Come back into that hero pose. We're gonna move back into that tabletop position and just do a couple more cat-cows. And then from here, we're gonna move on to our backs, finishing out with a happy baby. Bringing the knees to the chest, reaching in between the legs to hold on to the shins, the two big toes with your two fingers, or the edges, the outside edge of your feet. Now we're gonna start by keeping this happy baby nice and low, just really focusing on opening up the muscles in the inner thighs, the growing. And then when you are ready, extend the soles of the feet to the sky, really focusing on pulling the knees into the armpits, rocking side to side. Just letting go of any tension. And then gently release the feet, extend the arms away from the legs, really reaching. One more big stretch before bringing the hands down to the hips and letting your feet come a little as wide as the mat and maybe letting your toes point away from each other. Now we're gonna go into our Shavasana. Feel free to make yourself as cozy as you like. Maybe you wanna pull a blanket over yourself. Let your legs and your arms be heavy. Feel the pressure of the mat in your glutes, your shoulder blades, the back of your head, your heels. Relax the muscles in the forehead and around the eyes. Unclench your jaw. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And just take a couple minutes of quiet here to soak up all the work that you just did. And if you find your mind wandering, just acknowledge that it has wandered and bring it back to how you feel and your breath. If you'd like a longer Shavasana, feel free to pause this video. But if you are ready to come back to awareness, you can keep your eyes closed, but wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then bend the knees, rolling over onto one hip, maybe extending an arm to use as a pillow. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, pressing into a comfortable seat. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, oh, I guess I don't need to say that. You're already here. If you're not a member of my YouTube channel, please go over there, like and subscribe. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm at DojoCat713. That's Dojo Cat, not Doja Cat. I don't want to be sued. So and that is it for the Patreon for 2024. Thank you for being here for this year. Appreciate you so much. And I will see you guys in January 2025. Go drink some water, especially you, mom. I know you need to drink some more water. So go drink some water, hydrate, kings and queens. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I will see you guys next time. Os.